My Old Ass is a coming of age comedy. It's about a girl named Elliot who does mushrooms on her 18th birthday and has a trip where she meets herself at 40. And her 40-year-old self tells her some very unexpected things about where her life is going to go. And it kind of sends her on a bit of a spiral. I didn't do mushrooms and meet my older self. Sounds awesome, but that didn't happen to me. No, I was home in Canada and I was coming off the heels of my first feature, The Fallout, which had a much heavier tone, and obviously it had to have that place. But I was craving a bit of levity, and I was feeling nostalgic about the summers of my youth, and I just started thinking about this universal fantasy I think we all have about meeting our older or younger selves, and if we could give them advice, what would we say? What would we ask them? And it just kind of came out of that idea. Yeah, that was a real thought that I had that became a line in the movie. I read something, or I heard this story about, like, everybody has a moment where they go out and they play pretend with their friends, and they go home and they go to bed and they don't realize that that's the last time they ever did that. And everybody has that experience. And it made me so emotional thinking about it. And that was a big catalyst as well, kind of that idea of, if you knew it was the last time, what would you do differently? We cast Maisie first. Obviously, Elliot, younger Elliot, is in every frame of the movie, so it was important for us to find the right person. And then we just wanted to find somebody who shared a similar energy and tone, and I'm a huge fan of Aubrey. And I mean, honestly, we got really lucky. We sent the script to her, and she responded to it, and her and I Zoomed and chatted, and she just really clicked with it. And that was kind of as easy as that. And she flew out, and we had the best time together. And we just feel so. Maisie and I are both huge fans, so
the biggest.
We kind of squealed and jumped up and down. We found out it was a yes from Aubrey.
When I heard her name was confirmed, I was just like in fully. Yeah, so stoked. This is my first movie, and I was definitely nervous to work with Aubrey because I'm like genuinely such a huge fan, and I didn't fully know what to expect. I think I didn't have any like preconceived idea of her, but I was so pleasantly surprised with how she was like such a selfless actor with me. And I remember, like, the first time I worked with her, I was like, oh, that's how you be a good scene partner to someone. Like, she just offered so much, and I, like, immediately shifted my dynamic with working with other people after just, like, trying to give the same amount that she gave to me. And she's so funny, and, like, there was so much improv, and we only filmed together, too, in person for, like,
4 days?
4 days or 5 days. And I learned so much from her in that short amount of time. Like, it was, yeah, I adore her so much. It was amazing working with her. Elliot she's about to go to college, and she's, like, kind of realizing that her hometown is, like, she's not going to be there forever. She's figuring herself out, like, sexuality and all the things that we naturally do at 18 years old that I also did, and, you know. But, yeah, she's just figuring her stuff out, and I always find that interesting to watch in film because we all feel that, you know.
I think it's such a fun dynamic. I love seeing three completely different personalities come together and somehow mesh so well. And I think especially for Elliot, she needs those two different anchors. I think she needs the like kind of more tough, kind of like straight to the point friend, and then she needs the more like sweet, loving, kind of just there to be loving and caring. And I love their dynamic. I think it's really sweet. And something that Maisie pointed out is it's really nice when you see friends being affectionate in film, and it's not seen that often. So we were very ourselves, and like naturally if we wanted to hug or hold hands, we did. And yes. I really love to see that portrayed. I think it's really beautiful.
Piggybacking off of that, furthermore, I actually really agree with that. I think it's really interesting that we were me and her, we felt like such like extreme ends of the spectrum, but it's so cool because I feel like it's like when you like have 0 and then 100, like 50 is just, I don't know, like 50 is just there. Like,
the sweet spot.
Yeah, like she was our sweet spot, but also like it was really cool for 0 and 100 to get together too.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
And we had all the elements of a trio.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sometimes she would be 100, and sometimes I would be 0. It was really cool to do that.
I would say so, yeah. We would tend to do some scripted takes and then some fun runs for sure. And they had such great natural chemistry. And, you know, it's great when you have actors who are actually playing the age of the characters you wrote. I got to ask them, how would you say this? What would how would you say this in a more natural way that feels authentic to you and your character? Yeah. And so they were a great resource for me in making it feel as real as possible.
I also love how you come up with things on the spot. Like in the moment after a take, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I just thought of something so funny. And then we get to like play with that, which is really fun.
Also, like your writing just generally like is really realistic to how young people speak, which is like it's very hard to master that. It's like it's always changing. It's
Exactly.
hard for in a movie for something not to feel super trendy, or like if it comes out in a year, none of the things, those terms that we said are gonna be consistent, and like you always find the right balance of it. And so it's like improv is fun, but it's also not like super like needed all the time, because like the writing that's there is already feels like real to us, and
Plus, she's pretty young too. She's like our age.
yeah, she gets it. She gets it.
She gets it.
I'm on the old ass spectrum. I will say. That's kind though.